Oh, yeah, you gotta bring that close.
We need that.
We need that.
What's up? What's up? It's Naj and Reina.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is Sunday morning, right?
Early on Sunday morning.
And we got a review. We got a movie review.
Drinking thinks.
Golly.
Give me your drink. We got
cheers.
time for a drink and think.
So, last night we had date nights. We went to go see The Black Phone, a movie I had no idea about, but Raina picked it, and it was a really good decision, actually. So, I'm doing a quick recap fast.
Yeah, so let's get into The Black Phone. So let's go ahead and watch the trailer, and then we can kind of tell you. This is gonna have a lot of spoilers in it. So
Yes.
the trailer, I'll try to we'll put a mark when spoilers start coming. So if you haven't seen it, you don't get the spoilers. So we'll say spoilers about to coming and put that in the comments.
Good idea.
Spoiler about to come in. Wow, that's it.
Let's
All
watch
right, let's watch the trailer.
Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
See ya.
Tell me your name.
Taylor.
I was really starting to like you. Finny. I almost let you go.
Very solid movie.
Don't hang up. Who are you?
You know all our names?
It doesn't work. Hang it up. I made you some breakfast.
What'd you put in that?
Salt and pepper.
Have you seen this boy?
My brother, he was taken.
By a man with black balloons.
I had a dream about it. Please let the
I'll be honest with you. This trailer is way too in depth. So let's go back.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I didn't see this particular trailer, thank God, because it actually is giving a lot. It's giving the whole movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't know what's up lately with trailers doing this.
So I was saying it was good because, seeing it after the movie, I get a better idea of what was going on because I had no idea going
He
into
came
the
in a little
movie.
late.
Yeah, so when I saw it and then I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, so they showed who actually was captured. I didn't know, so it was just when the boy actually. I thought the girl was gonna be the one that got.
Yeah, because
stolen.
Najee was parking the car, so he missed the beginning that kind of showed how it was going down. So he was taking on boys.
No, I came in doing the
Oh, so you just weren't catching on?
Yeah.
Oh, I caught on.
No, I caught.
I thought you just didn't get it. I thought you missed something. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and start talking about it from the top. So let's kind of break it down. You want to talk about the actors first, the overall movie, what's up? Because let's talk about the overall movie, and then we'll talk about the actors.
Okay.
You first. You first.
What should I touch on? What do you want to hear?
Whatever your how do you like the movie?
I think the movie was. So it wasn't a scary movie. It was more of just a thriller / you just on the edge of your seat waiting to see what's going to happen next, right? It wasn't scary. It's from the perspective of you're necessarily afraid because the guy didn't seem like he was threatening until he. I probably shouldn't say that part yet.
I mean, say what you want to say.
Until he. Spoiler alert.
Oh, okay. Then don't say that. Never mind. It didn't feel that scary for you until something else happened.
Because it seemed like he was just holding them hostage, right? And I don't know what the purpose was, but I don't know.
They said that in the movie too. Okay, so all right. So Najee needs to see a movie like twice sometimes, because like he'll see one thing and stay stuck on that, and the movie's still moving, then he'll miss stuff. So, I thought the movie was very scary. I know it's a thriller, but I literally had my hand like this, like looking like that. Tell them.
Yeah, pretty much every other scene.
I was like, oh God, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
So it was pretty. It was such a thriller, and like he said, on the edge of your seat, you were just like, what the fuck's gonna happen now? Like once things started popping, it started getting scarier and scarier for me. But not scary in the sense of like blood curdling, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
You know, gory.
There is
scary.
one, piece in there. When it got real. It got real quick.
But it's more like it feels outside of the supernatural aspects of it, because it's like a supernatural thriller. It feels like what could really happen if you got taken hostage. Like there were some things where you're like, that would scare the shit out of me. Like, what would you do? Like, what could you do? And the kid tried everything he could to escape, and it just was like crazy. So, all right, cool. So you want to start spoilers now?
Yeah.
Actually, before we start spoilers, let's talk about the kids acting and the actors.
Yeah, so Renan brought this up earlier, but the acting of the main character, the boy,
Mason Thames, who plays Finney, and he's only been in like one or two other movies.
That's impressive, because he killed this.
He's 14.
Wow. Yeah, him, and what's the girl name?
Madeline McGraw, and she's been in quite a few movies as a child actor. She's 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen.
They showed out.
These kids, they were so good. They were good, man. Like
They had you, like,
I was
brought
like
in. Like, it looked so believable when she was getting punished by her dad, and like the way that she was like screaming out, and like, that
her
was like
emotion,
extremely convincing.
Yeah, her emotions in her acting was so real. Like I felt so connected to that performance, and I was like watching it like this, like I was like feeling it with her. I was like, yeah, I was like this man, like
Yeah.
So she was such a great actress, Madeline McGraw, I think. Yeah, and then but Mason, who plays Finney, oh my God, Mason was such a great actor to me, because his acting was more like what I could. Both of them, I would be surprised if they weren't famous. Like I'll be excited like 10, 15 years from now to be like, wow, I remember them in that movie Black Phone when they were kids, because they were really, really good. But Mason, to me, really just embodied that shy, clever child persona really well. He was so subtle with everything. He kept his composure so well, and when he finally had to break it down in the movie, it was so like real. Like he really felt like he kept it together for so long, and he finally broke down. So I thought that was just crazy.
And then when he went into, what was the guy's name? The one that was whooping the ass, the boy, his friend, that got taken as well.
When he went into who?
The boy, the friend that was protecting him.
Robin.
So Robin, there's a scene where Robin was eventually.
Oh. Okay, this is spoilers.
Yeah,
so hold on. All right. So now you can learn how to say it like without giving the spoiler.
So
Tell me what you want to say in my ear. I'll tell you. Come on.
I won't say
it's
it.
okay.
So,
Come on. Just come on. Tell me. Yeah, so there's a scene where one of his friends that's basically like the bully's bully, but he's like Robin Hood, like he steals from the rich and gives to the needy, but more like he beats up the bad people to be nice to the good people. Anyway, Robin basically has this scene with him where he's encourages him to finally find his inner strength. So it was really good.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
So basically he gave him the strength, and he went from that shy, like nerdy kid to like full of confidence, and was like determined to get up out of that trap. He was helped and set up these traps to eventually you know.
He just can't help himself. So anyway, all right, guys. So whatever time it is right now, we're gonna go ahead and mark that.
Yeah.
We're gonna start giving you some spoilers about the movie. But before we go into that, I just want you guys to know something really cool that I found out about this movie. That's not a spoiler. So the person that wrote the book, The Black Phone, is Joe Hill, who also made Horns, which and made another movie I've never seen. But Joe Hill is Stephen King's son. So it was actually pretty cool to see like the mind of Joe Hill on the big screen. And obviously I'm sure he doesn't want to be compared to his father all the time, but it was kind of cool to see his son go back into horror or like suspense, supernatural thriller, and how well he did. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
That's dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So let's go into spoilers from top to bottom.
So we 11 minutes in. All right, where you want to start?
Wherever you want to start, I'm with it.
Okay, so
He was ready, so I've been holding his ear.
I don't know what this guy's name is.
Who?
The bad guy.
Ethan Hawke, who's amazing actor,
No, I mean in the movie.
the grabber.
Okay.
But it's played by Ethan Hawke, who's an amazing actor.
So the grabber, right? He's out here patrolling the streets looking for children to snatch, right? So he's snatching them one by one. Who was the first guy? The paper boy?
No, I mean, the first one that they showed was Bruce.
Yeah. So he snatched up
Bruce Yamato, the baseball player.
the paper boy first, then Bruce, then he snatched who was the other one? In addition to Bruce, Robin, and another one.
The guy with the blonde hair.
Yeah, it was a few of them. So he just snatching them one by one in different scenes. So eventually he gets to the piece where the main character.
Benny.
You want to tell it?
This wasn't my spoiler. I didn't know what you were getting to.
Oh, go ahead. We'll help you there.
No. What are you trying to tell them? What do you want to tell
The
them?
sequence of events.
Oh, you want to tell them the
each
whole
kid.
story? You want to tell them the movie? Okay, I don't know. I thought you just meant like we're gonna say some spoilers. That's the whole
Okay,
thing.
go ahead.
I wasn't ready. I was really bought into what you were saying. I was ready for you.
So one by one, these children are getting snatched, right? So the sister, the main character's sister, has these powers that allows her to see visions, or
In her
at least,
dreams,
yeah,
yeah.
and to see like what's going on, but little subtle cues, right, or clues, should I say? So she gets to the point where detectives are coming to her in the school, asking detectives.
Oh, okay.
Asking for information about these dreams that she has. So that's the part where I got kind of confused because I'm like, what does she have to do with
So
it?
what happened was this. So Bruce Yamada's sister is friends with Finney's sister, and I forget her name. What's Finney's sister's name in the book? Or in the movie? Gwenny. So Gwenny is friends with Bruce Yamada's sister. Bruce Yamada was taken by the grabber. We don't know what's happened to him yet in the movie at this point, but he was taken. She went to his sister and said she had a dream about Bruce, and in the dream, he was kind of wrapped up with these black balloons. So when everybody's looking for Bruce, the little sister said, well, my friend had a dream, and she thinks he's someplace with black balloons. Now, that was a piece of the story that the detectives have never told the public. So how did this little girl know that there was black balloons involved with the murders? So they come to see her at school and say, tell us what you know. And she's like, okay, so I had a dream about it, so what? They're like, well, it's what you dreamt, supposedly, is what actually is part of the scenes. So they were like, so tell us the truth. How did you know? Who you been talking to? What did you see? And she's like, it really was a dream. And it comes out in the movie that her mother also had like prophetic dreams as well. And that sometimes her dreams came true, or they told her what to do or sort of something. And so this little girl has that same ability to dream either the future or what's going to happen or what's happening currently. So she has these dreams where she's able to see some of the murders and some of the kidnappings and some of the things that have happened. So she was pretty cool, and she was a great actress. I just love her so much.
She killed it. So who was your favorite? Who's your favorite actor within here?
I think that, so let me just backtrack and if we're going to be doing that part, because Ethan Hawke is and has always been one of my favorite actors. I love Ethan Hawke. You remember Ethan Hawke was in Training Day? Ethan Hawke was in Training Day. He was in Gattaca. He was in The Purge. He was in Daybreakers. He was in all these movies that I love and that I've seen a million times. He was in another movie with Angelina Jolie. I can't think of the name right now. And I think he was in a lot of movies. He's been in a lot of movies, okay? And he was married to Uma Thurman. So I really, 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 really love him. And this was a very scary version of him that I've never seen. So although I loved the kids and it was so refreshing to see like young children, I loved Mason's character, Finney. It was just more like crazy to see Ethan Hawke in that world. Like he's played bad guys before, but this was like he was like chilling. It was just crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking I like I know he wasn't a main individual, but what was it, Robbie?
I don't know who.
Robbie, right?
I don't know. That's no one's name in the book.
The one that was fighting, the one that was
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah, Robin.
Okay. Same thing.
No, I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. That could have been someone else.
He put on a pretty solid performance as well. Fighting the kids, scaring them off and such, cleaning all the blood off his hands from beating somebody down.
Robin was Finney's good friend, but Robin's like this very popular kid that struggles in school, and Finney basically helped him with his homework, and they became close. So Finney would come over, help him so he can pass, and so on and so forth. But Robin was this kid that basically, like I said, he bullied the bullies. So you want to try him, he would try. The kids would try and bully Finney, and he bullied the bullies. Everybody was basically scared of him, and he was also one of the kids that was kidnapped. So he was a great actor too. I actually didn't like his acting that much, but I liked his character.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the role that he played, and like how he protected them, and that was pretty cool to see. There
was a scene in the movie with Robin and Finney when Robin had already been kidnapped, and this is spoilers, obviously, he was killed. But their ghost came back to help Finney save everyone else, right? So there was this scene where on the phone, he could hear the voices of the get dead kids. But the dead kids were actually in the room with him, even though he couldn't see them. So there was a scene where he was trying to coach Finney how to fight back with the phone, and I just thought that was really cool, like to be able to see him. It kind of like made you feel sad, almost like he was like, "I got your back, even in my death, I got your back. Now let me tell you what to do. Like back up, bring your arm back, hit him like this." And he just kept teaching him, and I found out that scene was added. It wasn't supposed to go like that.
What was it supposed to do?
It was just going to be on the phone. They weren't going to have him in the actual scene. They had to fly him back in.
Wow.
Because they flew him out. He was done with his scenes. And they had to fly him back in just to do that scene. Because they just felt like it was going to connect better.
Yeah.
And it really was a big, important scene.
Yeah. Since we're going through the scenes and talking about them, that might be the answer to this question for you. But what was your favorite scene?
Come back to me. I got to think.
So... I don't know if there was one specific one.
Sorry.
I don't know if I had one specific one, but I did have a couple. That one for sure was pretty dope to see. Then I also did like the section where he was teaching them how to dig through the ground and like how to bust through it. So I forgot which character it was, one of his friends or whoever. It might have been Bruce. Was it Bruce?
He only had one friend, but yeah, it was Bruce.
So he told him like there's this area over to the side where if you can break through, the ground, you can start digging, right? And you can start digging a hole. So he was digging a hole, carrying all the dirt, flushing it down the toilet, running back, digging a hole, and just doing this cycle over and over. And I guess I must have missed a piece, but I thought he was saying you could dig like an underground tunnel and come back up some area. But I guess it was more so just a trap.
Yeah,
the
so
guy.
what happened was a lot of the kids had things that they had tried before they died. It just didn't work. So, for example, they were basically telling him, this is what will work and this is what did not work. So, this is what got me killed. This is what you should try and what you should do. And because there was like several children, 5 of them, in fact, he got instructions from all 5, but none of them really fully worked. So they were just, he felt like, okay, I'm doing what y'all say, but it's not really working. Something keeps going wrong with each idea, right? But so he would feel like demotivated through trying each one. So for example, the very first one is the one that Najee was talking about. He's like, hey, you can pull up the tiles in the back and start digging a hole in the bottom. So yeah, naturally you would think he's saying, maybe you could dig your way out. He's like, I tried digging my way out. I didn't get a chance to finish it though. The next kid's like, hey, there's a cable cord in the wall. Try using that to pull. He tried it. He broke off something, but it didn't fully work. He couldn't get all the way up there, right? Then the next kid was like, hey, do this. Like, go and open up the back. You can bust through the wall with the toilet top, and then maybe you can get out through the freezer. Couldn't do it, right? Like, there were so many different ideas that just weren't working. And that's what I was going to say my favorite scene was. My favorite scene was when they all finally came together in the end. Every idea, everything that they told him to do, all came back in the end. Even the time when he had to go up for the lock, he actually knew which, like, everything came together in the end, and I think that was like the craziest part.
Yeah, so that piece with the lock. So there was one of them that told him he's sleeping upstairs, right? So the guy, the grabber, he would come down there, give him some water, give him some food every once in a while, and he would lock the door. He would close the door, the dungeon, and then lock it. But then he started coming down and then give him the food and then leave the door kind of cracked, left it open.
Like he did it on an accident.
And then go back upstairs. So he started to go up those stairs, and then one of the kids called him on this phone. Obviously it wasn't real, but they were dead, but he was talking to him. He's like, he's upstairs waiting for you to come upstairs so he could whoop your ass. He had a belt sitting in the chair waiting for you to come upstairs. And that's how I guess that kid...
not just to whoop you.
Right, to kill him.
Yeah, because he said that the game is called Naughty Boy. And the point is to spank him until he dies. He never stops. So, like, if you go up there, you're dead.
And I thought he was about to just do it anyways, because he got off the phone, then he still started walking up those stairs. I'm like, this dude, he just told your ass, don't go up them stairs. So the guy, they showed they panned it in the kitchen. He's just sitting in a chair with the belt in his hand, just waiting for him to come
Shirt
up.
off.
Right.
Looking like a fucking freak. I was like, oh, God. I can't believe Ethan Hawke's that big. They must have made him gain weight.
Exercise. So he went back down those stairs. But that ties into how he eventually tried to escape and almost escaped. He went up there.
He was so fucking close.
He was asleep.
I was so scared so he finally escaped the house at one point, ran outside, had freedom for 2 seconds. The man got in the fucking car, started driving, and jumped out. And he was so close because the lights came on with the neighbors. The kid was about to scream, and this fucker took out this big ass knife like this. I'm like, bro, that's it. I would be so scared. The knife was right there. Like, you're done. You're done. Like, I would have been like, okay, I'll shut up. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me. They did so fucking good.
It was really cool how they tied all those little individual things together, and basically just made each one of those little pieces, like you said, just like come together and all be used.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Yeah. So
it reminds me right fast of like comedians, how they have little individual jokes.
And they bring it in
and
together.
Tie it all together. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Najee said earlier you didn't really know why he kidnapped them. Mm-hmm. Did you know why he kidnapped them? Mm-mm. So he said why in it that I think he had like a fantasy. He said, I won't do anything to you that you won't like. And then he kept coming down to stare at the little boy. And it had these underlining like fear of the little boy being like molested or raped or something. And even the boy said, if you touch me, I'll scratch your face. And he's like, how can you scratch my face when I have a mask on? Like, basically, like, you're not going to scratch nothing. It's like, he said, people are going to see scratches. They're going to know something's up. He's like, I wear a mask. So, like, he, like, basically was like, I don't care. But there was these underlining insinuations that there was something sexual behind it. Even the taking the shirt off and being, like, just, like, having his shirt off while being ready to, like, spank the kid to death. Like, I felt like he would get off on it or something. Which, you know, there is shit like that.
Yeah, he even came downstairs and he was like, I just wanted to see you. I just wanted to look at you or something like that. Remember he was like crouching down?
Yeah.
And the boy was like, what do you want? I was like, I just want to see you. And then went back up the stairs.
And I just wanted to see you. So let's just talk about the grabber for a second. And let's just talk about this man's whole fucking demeanor and everything about this character. Because it was wild.
Go ahead.
You only see Ethan Hawke's face once in the entire movie. Twice in the entire movie. One is when he grabs Finney, but he has all this white makeup on. Almost like, I don't know, not like a clown, but he just looked weird. He had all this white makeup on. That's like the only time you can kind of see Ethan Hawke's face. And then the last time is when his mask finally gets taken off of him when Finney's escaping. But this character almost seemed to have like two personalities in one. Like he would laugh, like have this like high pitched laugh, and then it would like go down into this like chilling demonic little weird like personality.
Yeah.
He was just menacing. He was just completely scary to me. Like he freaked me the hell out. And he changed these masks up and down. Like every mask was different, and all of them freaked me the hell out. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was interesting because it's like you didn't really know what to expect. Because I didn't know, like, I didn't think he was going to, like, actually kill him at some points. I thought he was just holding them or whatever, just keeping them down there. But then other, like, times it would be like, okay, like, he's going to try to, like, kill him or something like that. You know, like, based off how his voice was changing. You know, when he dropped the food, dropped the plate. It was like, I was going to let you go. You know, those type of things.
Yeah,
so.
He had, like, this, like, almost, like, lighthearted way of communicating for a second.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, it's like, just salt and pepper. I just made you breakfast. Like, trying to be nice. And then he'd, like, go into this, like, demonic, evil voice. And we're like, oh, my God. Like, I'm so scared.
It was interesting. So, what about his brother? What's up with his brother?
I mean, his brother, we could have went without that character.
So, I'll touch on this right fast because this is one of the pieces that I got confused on. For a slight second, so basically, they were going around looking for house to house to try to find the grabber, right? Mm-hmm. And basically, they knocked on one of the doors. They knocked on the door that they thought it was, and it was the detectives and his brother, the grabber's brother, answered the door. So I thought that his brother was in on it, and when his brother answered the door, basically he invited the detectives in, and he was like all turned up, like, yeah. So I've been trying to find the grabber, and it could be over here. He had this whole map and this big old board of like the different sections of where he think the grabber can be, and you know, different mapped out kids and stuff like that. So he had this whole plan that he was explaining to the detectives. Now I thought that he was doing that because he was in on it with his brother and was trying to like throw them off to completely eradicate them from thinking that this was the house. I thought he was like trying to like put up a, you know, like a distraction basically, and act as if like he was trying to help them so they wouldn't think that was the house. It kind of played out that way because they didn't think, like they left. They was like, all right, this dude crazy, and they end up leaving basically. But his brother wasn't in on it. His brother was actually really trying to help find the grabber, and he ended up finding the kid actually. And he went downstairs, opened it up. He realized that the house was his house that he was in. He was at his brother's house, but he realized that was the house and went down to go ahead.
Yeah, well, the brother was visiting specifically to find the grabber because it was like national news at this point.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah, he said he just came in to stay with his brother for this.
Oh, I didn't
He's
know
like,
that.
I literally just drove down. He actually lives in like Boston or I forgot where he lived, Oregon or something, and he actually drove down to participate in this because he knows this is where it's happening. So when the cops came, he's like, yes, let's get in on this together, guys, because I've done the whole thing. I even came down here to help find this guy. So he was really involved with looking for him, but he was there temporarily. Now the kids on the phone kept saying he was nervous. The dead kids kept telling the Finney, yeah, he's nervous, he's making mistakes, he's tired, he's not doing shit the way he usually did, he's fucking up because his brother's in town. They even said it. They're like, his brother's here, or he's worried about his brother. And then you could hear his brother asking, like, hey, what was that? He's like, nothing, it was Samson. Like, he was not in his element fully.
The dog.
Because, Samson's the dog. He was not in his element fully because he had a guest in the house, which was like throwing him all the way off. He had to do things a little bit differently. He couldn't do things exactly the same way because somebody's living in the house, and he's getting more and more attention with each death. So,
Yeah.
which, mind you, no one knew they were deaths because no one found the bodies, but they just knew they were kidnapped. They felt like if they're kidnapped, they could be dead.
Yeah. So, want to talk about the outcome?
Sure, let's go for it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Oh. So any case, so like he was saying, his brother's name is Max. So Max, his high ass, was looking at the map and finally realized that it looked like the map he had created. He realized the house must be right there. And he goes and looks at it and he realizes that's this house. So he starts looking in the house. He finds Finney. His dumbass just stands there forever, just like saying, this is crazy. I can't fucking believe it. And Finney's like, get me the fuck out. Come on, bro. He's like, yeah, this is crazy. Oh, don't worry about him. He's at work. And then his brother is behind him and kills him with a big ass axe. And to which Ethan Hawke's character, the grabber, is like, he was an idiot, but he was my idiot. And you made me kill my brother. Now I'm gonna fucking kill you. So, that goes into the last scene. But before I go into there, which to remind you, he has a sister who has prophetic dreams. And she was able to see where one of the kids had been murdered or where he was at or what happened with him, for example.
Let's touch on that right fast because I think that was my favorite scene.
The kid, the blonde hair kid?
Well, when she had this, the little vision or dream.
And got in the cop car?
Well, prior to that, when she had this dream or whatever of like what was playing out, so the kid was at the little gaming spot or whatever playing the little pinball game, and he was trying to beat this hot score, right? And then I guess some of the other kids either like bumped him or whatever and end up making him lose. So the kid that was almost had the high score, he started beating the other kid up. And one of the kids that was with the kid that was getting beat up had a knife, tried to come at him with the knife. He knocked him out or whatever, and then like took the knife and started carving the number 7741 into his arm, which she's seen, and that ended up being the address of where, was it the address of where, so it was two houses.
So yeah, he carved 7741 into the arm of the kid. The police came and arrested him, and she rode with him in the car to a house that is 7741. So it helped her like to realize 7741 must be where these kids are.
So that in and of itself was dope, like how they actually played, like him carving that, and then that being like the address of it, and I don't know, it was just tied together pretty well.
Now I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like.
What's that?
I didn't like that it was the wrong house.
Right.
So what happened was the sister had all these prophetic dreams about the house that potentially her brother was in. She goes and calls the detectives. She gets everybody, like there's a whole group of people. They go in the house and they find the kids that have been already murdered. They find those 5 kids. Her brother is not in this house though. In fact, he actually happened to be in the house across the street that the man owned both homes across the street from each other. So it's like, okay, so you had all these prophetic dreams and you had this is actually the only thing I did not like. There's 2 things I didn't like actually. You have all these prophetic dreams. You have all this shit that you have. And then he takes you to just find kids that are already dead, not your own brother that is alive across the street. That bothered me because her brother was this fucking close to dying. Like he was like so close to dying, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, it's like, what was the
point of
significance
what's the
of-
point of the gift if you're not gonna save your brother's life?
Well,
They even said in the end, they were like, we rescued the boy. Y'all didn't rescue that boy. Those
Right.
dead kids rescued him.
Right. Yeah.
What? Y'all didn't rescue him. His sister didn't even rescue him.
Yeah, no, he'd been good out of the way.
He was gonna be
or not,
fine.
like he was straight.
I'm glad y'all find the dead kids, but I'm over here alive, guys. Please help me.
Yeah, he was straight.
That was
He
the
did.
only time I was like, okay, actually there's 2 times, but I'll tell you about the other time. But anyway, so the end was, go ahead.
Yeah, no. To touch on that piece, like it was kind of odd that they did all this, get in the house, whatever. They did find the bodies, whatever, or not the actual body, but like buried. But then the boy just comes out across the street and just standing there. They all over across the street at the other house. So the grabber ended up having 2 houses, one where he buried and then one where he killed. So it was just kind of interesting to see him walk out of the house where he was torturing them, and then across the street they looking. So I don't know. It was just kind of weird to see that that's how it transpired, I guess, because imagine him actually being in a fight and trying to like survive, and he
you
wasn't.
motherfuckers across the street.
And he just needed a little bit of help. Like he got the majority of it knocked out, but he just getting beat up right now.
So let's talk about the end, right? So as I said, Najee wanted to get to the end part. There was like all these different things that the kids did for him, right? The kids gave him all these advice, right? In the end, after the grabber kills his brother Max, he's ready to kill Fetty, right? So he brings down his dog Samson, locks him up so that if the kid tries to run past Samson, who's this big, crazy looking, I eat children dog, like he's huge, if he tries to run past him and go up the stairs, the dog will eat him, right? The dog will bite him and like probably kill him, right? It's huge. And then the man says, I'm going to take my time with you. I usually use a knife, but I'm going to take my time with you. I really want this to hurt. Because he was like, you've been giving me a hard time. So prior to this moment, he had another phone call with the last kid. His name was Robin. That was his friend. And Robin really prepared him for this. Robin said, use everything we told you to get out of here. You've got everything you need now. You just need to do it. And there was a scene where the kid, Finney, said thank you to one of the other kids. And then he said, for what? He said, thank you for helping me or trying to save me. And the kid freaked out. He said, that's not for you. It's not about you. It's for everyone. He's like, I'm not saving you. And he's like kind of insinuating or saying, this is bigger than saving Finney. It's like, bro, this motherfucker will keep going. He'll kill all of us. Like, we'll be gone. So this is not just for you, it's for all of us. And it's to get retribution back, right? So he puts together everybody's plan. It came together so nice. So when he was trying to escape the window, this big ass grid bar thing, like this, what is it?
It was just like just like bars on the windows so that you can't.
Yeah, it came off as one. So when he was creating that hole that Najee was talking about, he put that in the bottom of it, right? Then he had tried to like break through the wall and bust through the wall and get through there. That didn't work, right? But he was in the back of a freezer that had a whole bunch of meat in it, so that was there. And then earlier when he was trying to run out and he actually got outside, he had to know the combination to a bike lock that one of the dead kids told him the combination, what it was. So, and that's the combination of the bike lock was on the front door, so you can't leave unless you knew the combination. So he had a lock on the door like that. So anyway, long story short, you tell him the rest.
No, that was cool. That was another scene too when he had to find out the lock code from one of the kids because one of the kids called or whatever, and he had it carved into the wall, and he told him where to go look on the wall. So it was 23317, but he had to figure out like how to actually put it in. Is it 2330 or 17 or whatever? It was like different ways to put the code in.
Is it 23317? Is it 23317? Is it 2333? What? Like it was like which variation? He's like, I don't know. You gotta figure it out, buddy. Hope you do it quick.
Right.
And got off the phone. But anyway, so what happened was he used everything that the characters, the kids gave him to trap Ethan Hawke, the grabber, in that hole he dug. And then he used the black phone that he had been talking to all the dead kids on to like beat the shit out of this guy. Like, was really rocking his ass.
The way that Robin told him, step back, cock forward, whatever. That little whole scene, he actually put.
Yeah, Robin literally gave him instructions on how to get the most out of hitting him with this phone.
Yeah.
He even packed the phone with dirt to make sure it was like really heavy.
Yeah.
So then all that happened. Then he ends up killing the grabber in a really cool way. Again, these are all spoilers. I'm telling y'all everything.
Yeah.
And then
he snapped his neck or something, right?
yeah, he like literally snapped his neck. But so the cool part to me was we saw this big ass dog Samson. And I'm like, how you gonna get past this fucking dog? But he had actually opened up the deep freezer and thought he could get out of it, but couldn't. But in the deep freezer was a whole bunch of fucking meat. Okay. So he used the big ass T-bone thing to distract the dog so he can get past him.
That was the funny part because I was like, where did this slab?
Oh, you didn't see where it came from?
No, I didn't see no throw. I didn't think to like, wonder that much. But then after a while, I was like, where did he get that from? He just like a random slab of meat he just threw.
When he had opened, and the kid's like an engineer. Like he creates like rockets, and he's really like smart. So he knew how to use some of the stuff in the area to like, he was just very analytical already in the movie. Yeah, so he knew how to, he opened up the back of the deep freezer and was like kicking it, trying to get out of it at one scene, but couldn't. But in the deep freezer was a whole bunch of meat. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't freezing anymore because the back of it was open. So I'm assuming it thawed out because it makes sense. And then he used that to distract the dog and then went up the stairs. The front door was still locked, but he knew the combination because one of the kids told it to him. And then he just steps outside and he's free. And then across the street's a whole bunch of fucking cops at the wrong house. That's the only scene where I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, like, what was the point of this then? His sister just randomly saw him and runs across the street to hug him. I'm like, well... Yeah. Anyway, the only other scene that I thought was kind of weird was the scene with the big-haired blonde kid. Like, what was the point of him... What was the point of the 7741 and why was he walking into that house? And he said, he walked in the house like, yeah, your time is like fucked up now. Something like that. Like, basically it seemed like he went in the house for a fight and I just didn't get it.
Oh, I don't remember specifically that part, but overall it's pretty great. I think, you want to do ratings?
Sure.
What would you give it? What do they do with the movies?
What's this time?
It's pretty long.
42. We're gonna start rating the movie. Okay. We should put. I wonder if you can like take all the spoilers and put it at the very very end and bring our rating in the front.
Well, it's live, so.
This is why I don't like live.
No, live is good. That way we ain't gotta do a bunch of stuff afterwards.
No, I don't like live. I wish it was.
So what would you give it? Scale of what we do? 1 to 5? Is that how they do movies?
Oh wait, there's people actually on here. Mm-hmm. Is someone commenting?
Not commenting, but watching right now.
Oops.
Oh, God. I don't know why.
My bad.
All right, let's finish. What would you rate the movie?
Hold on. I don't know what's happening. Okay, my bad, guys.
Out of 1 out of 10. Hold on, wait. Let me see what it says. Maybe we can display.
Here is a comment.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to show it.
Well, we don't need to see that. That's not my algorithms. Okay, so 1 out of what?
What they do movies? 1 out of 5? Don't they give it a 5? 5 is the high.
They could do most. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want to tell me.
Let's do 1 out of 5. What would you give the movie? You could do halves. You can do points. What do you say?
Who's calling me?
Oh God. Okay.
I could do. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a 5.
Because of that one scene, the ending.
No, there was 2 scenes. I was trying to get to it. There's 2 scenes where I just like a little like, why that way? I would give it a 4.8.
4.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Maybe 4.6. The only reason why is because I think that it kind of took away from like the point of that girl's powers if she couldn't like use it to help anybody. Like, what's the point? Like, okay, so she's just gonna be able to find like dead people. Okay, great. Like your brother is right there. So I just felt like that. Also, there are just small little teensy weensy holes somewhere throughout the movie. Like, for example, why were the other kids not able to hear the phone? Or did they hear their phone? They just never had enough. I don't know. Second, why could the grabber hear the phone but didn't want to believe he was hearing it? Like what was wrong with him? And why did he could hear the phone too, just like the kid could, Finney could. But why did he want to not believe that it could work? Like what was he, could he hear the voices of the people he killed? Like, I don't know.
I'm guessing because he kept telling him that it doesn't work and it's unplugged. So maybe like he thought he was just hearing things, but didn't really believe it or something.
Well, the kids said that in the movie. They're like, he can hear the phone too, but he doesn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but why doesn't he want to believe it? Like, what else? Like, what's
yeah,
wrong
that's what I'm
with
saying.
it?
Like maybe because it was like detached or whatever, and
Yeah.
he just saw it and just then I don't know. But I was gonna give it higher than that, but then you kind of steered my
Sorry.
opinion with the ending because it did kind of it did make me think like, oh, yeah, why was she able to see all this stuff, but then
But can't even help your own brother.
It'll be the wrong house.
She had a whole like her. It kind of made her entire story irrelevant. It just kind of made it all like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, kinda because she was able to pick up on some things, you know, like the van, the balloons, and things like that. And I think that
But it didn't help her brother. It's
her.
like, so it didn't help your brother.
Yeah.
You had all that shit, and your brother was still alive, and he was this fucking close to dying, and y'all were at the wrong house. Can you imagine seeing across the street, there's your salvation, and you're like, help, please, and like they just can't hear you. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually worse than just kill me. I don't want to see y'all across the street.
She tried. She only like what, 12?
No, here's the thing. Since it's a movie, they could have made that make more sense.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, so I was gonna do higher. I think that brought mine down. I was gonna say 5.
Sorry.
But maybe like 4.7.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. It was a great movie though. Overall, that was excellent. I actually
It kept you on the edge of your fucking seat.
From beginning to end, the black phone? The black phone was very exciting and engaging, and I don't know. I think that's literally the only thing that I can say that I didn't really like about it. So kinda, but
You actually didn't have a problem with it till I said something.
yeah, no, not really. I mean, because it did throw me off when they said he had 2 houses and then one of them, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird. But at the same time, when you start talking about it, you know, it made me view it a little bit differently.
I mean, I guess it makes sense to not have the house, but he owns both, and they would have figured it out. So like, if you would have found the house where he was torturing the kids, you would have found what else he owns. I'm like, oh, he owns a home across the street. Let's check that house. It's abandoned now. Yeah. And then you see it. Then you find the motherfucking kids. Like, it would have happened either way. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I just feel like since he was fighting the guy, like I don't know if it was a better ending, but a different ending that I probably would have liked more, as if the grabber if he was giving the grabber some gold, but the grabber was getting the best of him. And then they busted in and was able to, like, you know, actually help with that process.
Yeah, or even
like
if he the grabber was, like, passed out, he didn't fully kill him. And then, like, he's coming up the stairs to leave, and then the grabber, like, tries to actually grab him again, and then they come in.
Right, like some sort of connection
to,
for
like,
the reason that they came.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just like, okay, so she just happened to be standing there when he came out. Yeah. He was just gonna walk home, bro. Yeah. Like, he was just gonna go home. Like,
he was straight. Yeah.
He was fine at that point. Like, I didn't even save him. And then everybody running from one house to the next at the end.
Do you think this is based on a true story?
Joe Hill wrote the book, so no. Joe Hill wrote a fictional book about the black phone, but I think it has very, very strong, like, kidnapper-esque stories.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, we know a lot of kidnapper stories where people are taken into basements and they're tortured down there, or in boxes under the bed, and like all this crazy shit happens. People be with them for years and years and years. So I'm sure some true stories have influenced it, but it's a fictional book, short story from Joe Hill.
Well, that was great. That was really
Yes, I thought it was really good. It's a great movie. You should definitely go see it. If you didn't get all the spoilers, hopefully you can put the tags in where the spoilers start and where the spoilers end. So, but yeah, definitely go see it. I give it a 4.6. Naja gives it a 4.7. Overall, I think that's really good because usually I wouldn't give something a 5 that didn't let me go through all emotions. So I usually like to feel like every emotion for that to be a 5. Like I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want to be scared, I want to be excited, I want to be like fucking freaked out, all that, and then that's a 5. But this was pretty close.
Even if it's like not focused on any one of those, like like the crying, even if it's just like a comedy movie or something like that.
Yeah, there should be a moment where I cry.
Okay.
I almost cried in this one.
Well,
I
yeah,
almost
for
cried.
sure.
I
But,
was scared. I was excited. There was action. The only thing I didn't like laugh really. But actually, I did laugh. I laughed. I laughed a few times too, because the little girl was funny as hell. Actually, so
she had some
so
spots.
there was. I had every emotion. That it was very close to being a 5, except for it just didn't fully come together with that ending.
Yeah.
And that blonde kid still confuses me. And I'm very good at movies.
I wonder what the actual ratings are.
I
Right
am
fast.
very good at movies. So.
Let's see the black phone ratings.
It's a 7.4 out of 10. 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. 92% of Google users liked it. It did release just on the 24th. So far it's done $3 million in the box office. Dang.
So whatever this is, 4.4 out of 5 stars, 518 ratings. So they rated a little bit lower than us.
Yeah, but let's go. Rotten Tomatoes has them at an 84%, so it's about 8.4 out of 10, and that's a big deal. Audience score is at 90%. That's really good. So I think they're doing pretty solid here. So yeah, guys, if you guys want to see this, definitely go see it. I think it's worth your time. It's not a like excessively long movie. I don't think, was it?
I don't remember how long it was, but
It actually don't matter how long it is because we were tied in the whole fucking time. There's some movies where you're like, okay.
Like how long?
Yeah, no, you were in the action. Okay,
It's an hour and 42 minutes.
don't even feel like it. Felt like it went down in 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was so quick.
Yeah, that was really good, and it wasn't like like you said, like some movies. It just be like, okay, this is all right, but it's like, when is the ending coming? Like let's wrap this up. But this was like very well timed.
From the very beginning to the very end, you were strapped in roller coaster style, ready to go, and enjoying the ride. So I hope you guys like it. And yeah, that's it for us, buddies.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll catch y'all in the next one, whatever that video is, just so y'all understand and know, because I know we're starting to get some people in from the last video, which was the reaction to the gym, the female TikTok girl in the gym. We do videos and reactions on quite a few wide variety of topics. So
We will be doing them,
yeah, we got some that we got to post. But you're going to see some animal videos talking about like,
all of our interest. Things we
yeah,
like.
things that we just like, that we watch and we do anyways, and we're sharing it with you all right? So
We literally do it anyway. We were in the bed talking and about the movie. Then he started asking me questions, or I started asking him questions, and he was like, you know what? We should just go ahead and share this with everyone else because we don't want to do it twice.
Right, yeah. Cool. So that's it for this video. Y'all, if you've seen the movie, drop down what you all think about it, your thoughts, your ratings, and just share.
Make sure you put in the spoiler alert because I don't want anyone getting mad.
Yeah, put spoiler alert and broad.
I meant us, but yes, you too.
Yeah. We're both. Let's do this together.
Everybody put spoiler alert.
So subscribe to the channel if y'all not subscribed. Like it, share this with somebody else that you think would like this video, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.